How's it going, everybody? My name is Riley, and welcome to the Weekly Crit, the show where I give you a critical hit of real talk each week. So today, I'm talking about giving up, something that everyone understands, and you'd be lying if you said otherwise. Personally, I've given up on a lot of things in my life. Sometimes it just wasn't for me, and sometimes I just gave up because I realized I didn't like something as much as I wished. Here's an example. I really appreciate art. My grandfather is an artist. My father is a really good artist, as much as he likes to pretend like he isn't. My mom paints as well. There is a lot of talented artists in my family, and I really have appreciated the art forms. So I tried a lot to become an artist. The thing that just kept killing me was expectation of where I wanted to be. I had goals for what I wanted, but my goals were so far away that I was never motivated. I would fall out and then fall back in and then fall out and then fall back in. And eventually I realized in an honest moment with myself, I just don't think I love the process of creating artwork in the form of, pencil to paper or the digital equivalent. I just don't love that as much as I would need to in order to become proficient in it and become the level I would love to be. I've always been one to try and see what I can do, see what I like, and just try something. So I bought a decent electric piano that had the pressured keys, and I tried to use it for a little bit, and I just realized that the same thing. I love music, I will always appreciate it, but it's just not something I want to do. These are things that I quit or gave up, if you want to use more frowned upon nomenclature. I have tried to learn Japanese since I was 15 years old. So since I was 14 years old. For 5 years. Almost 20 years old I am now. And I've been trying to learn. And what I did was I would learn, and then I'd give up. And I'd learn, and I'd give up, and I'd learn. And then I finally just gave up. Around the age of 17 going into 18, I just gave up. And I thought, maybe this is no different than the other things like drawing or like music, and I just realized that I didn't love the language enough to learn it. Until now, 2 years goes by, I'm an adult. I'm going to be moving out on my own soon, and I'm going to be going to school for a profession that I'm excited to be in. A lot of things have come up in my life where I had to realize that I'm an adult. You have to look at your life as an adult, not as what the next fad you're going to do is, but you have to look at it long term. I am a big believer of keeping the inner child alive inside of you, but you do have to be an adult. And in doing that, and in being in such a gray area of life where I don't know what life is going to look like in 8 months, I'll be in the big city, in a new school, about to start a whole new life away from my friends and family. You have to think about priorities and what you want to really do. Or at least it made me think about that. And one thing that came back for me was learning Japanese. Not drawing, not music, and this is not some video saying, and now I've passed the fluency test and I'm moving there tomorrow. This is real life. That stuff does not just happen overnight. This will take me years and years to be fluent. And yes, it's to fulfill some weeb dream in me to be able to watch anime without subtitles or talk to my Japanese friends without it being really hard. But it's something that I realized after giving up that I really, really missed, and I had to come back to. I've been learning quietly for the last few weeks, and I've never felt more confident that I will see this through than I do right now. Here's why. Right after I graduated, I just turned 18, I had always struggled with my health. I was always overweight, and I never wanted to do anything physical. It was a problem. Then my brother took me to the gym, and it hurt me, and he pushed me, as an older brother does. He made me go back the next day, even when I said I couldn't do it, and made me go back the next day, and then I just kept going, and I kept going, and it got really hard at some points, but then I found a way to love it, and I started researching, and I started eating better, and I started learning new exercises, and before I knew it, I genuinely started loving the gym. After about 6 months, I looked in the mirror and it was a completely new man. A year and a half later now, I have a physique that a year and a half ago I wouldn't have been able to even dream of. And it's because of the hard work I put in. The difficulties that you have at the start leads to the greatest progress that you're going to have. It's always the hard part at the beginning. You know, the curve of everything is you find it, it's super exciting, and then it becomes normal. In a sense, with the gym, people will talk about it. They'll be like, I went to the gym, and then after a few weeks, I lost motivation. What separates that occurring to someone being successful and going long-term into the gym is not motivation, but it's going when you're not. And I know it's seen a lot on the internet as just discipline. You just have to have discipline. That's all it is. It's as easy as that. It's not easy. It's really hard. I tried to go to the I'm saying this as if this is my first time going to the gym. I tried going to the gym. I tried running. I tried calisthenics. I also tried going to the gym again. I tried swimming. I tried soccer. I tried everything in my life. And it never worked until I finally let myself win. I let what I wanted finally beat my brain. It's like an addiction. I read a quote on a meme that was really funny, but it was also a really real quote. The journey to hell feels like heaven, and the journey to heaven feels like hell. It's very true. What I didn't realize before was eating pizza feels so good in the moment, but feels so bad afterwards. When I eat well and I exercise, it makes me know that I'm becoming a better person every day. And I'm being the best version of myself, and I'm being healthy, and I'm leading the future version of me to a future that I'm happy with. This is just the example of bodybuilding. You do not have to be a bodybuilder, but this was my example for how doing something and pushing past the start changed my life. Giving up is really easy. That's why it's done so much. But I've been trying to read this year. I want to read 12 books. I'm really interested in Stoic philosophy. I started getting into it from PewDiePie, and then I actually got some books, but I haven't fully read them because I quit. But I actually picked them back up recently. Something that Epictetus said in the book Epictetus really stuck out to me. He was telling a story about how he was banished from Rome and how he would refuse to go back. Even if they asked him to come back, he would refuse. And his friends said the same. But then Epictetus said, no, you wouldn't. You would crumble the moment they ask you back. And his friend denied that. No, I wouldn't. Then they asked him back. And he crumbled, and he went right back, kissing their feet and saying information different to what he knew to be true, as Epictetus said would happen. It was a point on standing by what you believe. For example, if you believe that for your life, learning a language will forever benefit you, it's on you to be Epictetus in that situation. Not his friend begging to go back to Rome. Where you stand should be where you stand. Get through the grind, and you'll find that beautiful point. Because there's so much peace when you do right by yourself. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me. I hope you enjoyed this week of the Weekly Crit. If you have any questions or advice you'd like me to answer in the next video, feel free to leave them down below and I'll answer them. That's about it. Have a wonderful day.